So with the release of the brand new 1080 V13, does that mean the end of the More V4? So shoe comparison for you guys today is the brand new 1080 V13 up against the More V4. So we're going to go through their key differences and how that affects their performance, and hopefully that is going to be able to help you decide which shoe is right for you. So price wise, they're pretty similar price at the moment, but the brand new 1080 is a little bit more expensive. So $260 in Australia, $165 in the US. More V4, we've got $250 in Australia and $150 in the US. And in the weight, the 1080 is coming in at the lighter package, so 9.2 ounces or 262 grams for this one. And the More, about an ounce heavier, so 10.4 ounces or almost 300 grams. But it doesn't really matter what the stats say, it's all about how they feel on the foot. And I can tell you that a 1080 definitely feels lighter on the foot, it feels more nimble. You look down at the V4, it's got a very wide platform, very wide thing. It sort of feels like you've got a big speedboat on your foot. So that's a big difference there with the weight. In the upper, we've got very similar uppers here, so very similar engineered mesh. The thickness is about the same, so the breathability isn't the best in either shoe. The key differences with the upper is definitely the materials that they're using. So it definitely feels like they're using better materials, and the shoe feels a lot more plush in the 1080. So there's a little bit more padding around the heel collar and definitely on the tongue in the 1080. We've got a gusseted tongue also in this one as well. It's a bit more streamlined and a little bit more basic in the V4, but there's still enough padding there to get a nice comfortable shoe. Heel counters are slightly different, so you've got a heel flare here in the More. And you've just got this big pillow thing that you've got right up on the Achilles in the 1080. Neither has actually given me any problems whatsoever. Lockdown wise, I've had no issues with either of these shoes. Now the fit is pretty much identical. I think they fit almost exactly the same. So length is true to size. Toe box in width is about the same as well. So in the midsole, they're both using Fresh Foam X. And to the touch, they both feel pretty similar. However, there is a new formulation in this 1080, so it's a lot more lighter and airier, and and it pretty much pushes your finger out a lot faster than what it does in the More. But stack height wise, believe it or not, the 1080 has actually got the higher stack. So it's 38-32 with a 6mm drop, and 34 and 30 in the More. When you put them on, so I've put them on side by side and put them on at the same time, and you actually do feel higher in the 1080. Geometry wise, there appears to be a more pronounced rocker in the More V4. However, I haven't really felt any significant rocker in either shoe. But the big difference in the midsole here is definitely the foam. So there is far more bounce and pop in this brand new formulation of Fresh Foam X. And in our outsoles here, you can see the outsoles are quite different. So we've got these big, we've got a big wide platform on the More, and we've got these huge pods. And on the 1080, we've got still a fair bit of rubber coverage, but we've got these flex grooves that are running up and down the shoe. Through the forefoot of the shoe, this one feels a little bit more firmer and stiff. However, it's not a firm ride whatsoever. What the big differences are in the outsole, or what you can see on the bottom of the shoe, and that's to do where the foam is and not where the outsole rubber is. So the More has got this big crevice through the rear of the shoe, and that actually affects the ride quite a lot. Whereas the 1080 doesn't have that, it's pretty much just all solid foam through that. So how that affects the ride is when you are running in the More V4, it actually feels like it's got a 4mm drop, but it actually feels like it goes negative when you run, because that you just sink right into that flex groove, and so you actually feel like you go down negative and then pop back up. So that's quite a sinking, sluggish feeling that you get with this shoe. With this shoe, that doesn't happen. You as you go down through the foot strike and you hit, lots of energy return, lots of pop, and it's quite an enjoyable, fun ride. So yes, the ride of these shoes are very, very different. So this one is just a really highly cushioned, take the impact out of whatever you're running on, no road feel whatsoever. As I just said, you sink in and then you slowly come back up and you just slog along. So it definitely feels a little bit soggy, definitely not an efficient running shoe, but a super soft, squishy, comfortable shoe. Now the 1080 is still soft and squishy. However, you're not sinking in, you're not getting that negative feeling. When you're going down, you're getting lots of pop, lots of bounce, and it's quite an energizing, energetic, and it's a really, really fun ride. I think the 1080 is a far more versatile option. However, I do think the More with its super wide platform is a little bit more stable. But if I could only buy one, I'm definitely getting the brand new 1080 V13. But there are some great sales, especially on the More V4 at the moment, because it's coming up to its end of life. So keep an eye out on the websites for the big sales on the More V4. Both are absolutely great shoes. Both are worth buying. It's just going to come down to which one suits you more. So what do you need for your running? If you want a nice, energizing, versatile, bouncy, poppy, soft ride, go to the 1080. If you just want something that's not going to want to tick your legs over faster, you just want to go out there and just chill out and sink in and don't feel anything, nice recovery shoe, then go the More V4. So that's it from me, guys. If you've got any more questions regarding these two shoes and how they compare, please drop them in the comments below. And again, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, feel free to share this to your running buddies, and we'll see you next time.